Well, okay. Hello out there to all the vegans and anybody that's watching. I haven't posted a video for a while with my video vlog that I've started with my own journey with food. So I thought I'd just take a quick time to do it. I'm headed out the door, and thought I'd get a quick video in because I was thinking of where I'm at with my food intake, and that's still on an alkaline diet. And I recently, in the last, I guess it was a couple months, what is it, today's December, is today December 18th, I think? It's either 18th or 19th, I'll have to check my phone, 2017. But anyway, it just kind of came into my mind of a subject that I wanted to talk about briefly, and then let it go at that. But to be brief, it started off with me getting on an alkaline diet, then eventually going vegan, and that's worked really well. There's some things I have to work on, like do a little better with sleep, but I'm getting better, and a little better with water intake. But the real subject of this video is, I guess I'll call it Dr. Sebi and the non-hybrid food element, if you want to pinpoint it that way. It's been a recent thing with me, kind of just getting into some of Dr. Sebi's work, and I don't know if anybody out there is, quote unquote, has the total answer. So that's why things are an individual journey. But I've decided to go by his nutritional guide, which is, as like a lot of people probably know, it's on drcbcellfood.com. Now, as like with anything, there's always like a can of worms or things to explore once you get into it. I've recently seen that since his passing, it appears to be a wife, I don't know if he was married a couple times or 3 times or something, but I thought it was one of his wives talking about how maybe the business has changed, and so I don't know, it can lead you to believe that, are the products as good? I don't know. I couldn't say, because I never was a person that got products while he was alive, and I've recently ordered some that haven't arrived yet, but I haven't ordered many of the herbs. I haven't got one of the more expensive packages with a lot of the herbs. I just kind of crept into getting some products like the teas and things like that to sort of, get my foot in the door. Nonetheless, even taking that with what it is, I am going to follow the nutritional guide that he and that site have put out, I guess, for years, because I think it's a good one, and I think it's one that I can follow. Things can be kind of intimidating, I guess, to people, myself included, because when you look at stuff, you're like, wow, maybe things are limited, from what you even thought. They're limited more from what you even were on from your normal, like from my normal alkaline diet. But, the more I looked at the list, I thought, you know what, that's okay, because it's actually still a pretty extensive list with the fruits, vegetables, seeds, and seasonings, things like that. So when I think a person gets to the stage, for me, like where I'm at, where I've already excluded things from my diet, such as sugar, for the most part, gluten, and wheat, and breads I really don't eat, processed foods. I've excluded all those foods, dairy, and that's worked so well. So I don't see that that's, much of a problem from where I'm at, and everybody's in a different place and on a different level. So, I don't want to say, oh, this is never a superiority thing or whatever. Everybody's in a different stage. If you're still eating meat and dairy and stuff, as a lot of people said, I mean, that's fine for you. Whatever, it's how you want to tailor things and what decisions you've come to. I found out that eliminating dairy and meat have served me so well. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. I keep looking to see if I have the book at hand. Hang on a second. Okay, yeah, it's I do have it right here, and I just thought I'd bring him up as an example and make a point that oh, is this reversed in the in my camera? It's yeah, I have my camera reversed so I can film myself. But this book is the Alkaline Herbal Medicine by Akil Anis. I think I'm pronouncing his name right, and I stumbled across his other book that is much like this, called the God Awakening Diet. I think he writes it in a great, way of, saying God, nature, the source, when he talks about where we get all our food. And just as he says, it avoids all the arguments of what your individual beliefs might be. So if you were a non-believer in God, that's fine. You got nature and the universe and the structure of that. Or maybe you call it something like the source. And if you're a believer in God, this is the creation that way and all the food and things like that. So anyways, his two books, and I've just started to read this one, Alkaline Herbal Medicine. This one apparently is where he talks about when you get Sebi's products or herbs, maybe you're not getting them from Dr. Sebi. I don't know, who has passed away, I think, last year. But this talks about that, about his herbs, or I should say maybe him and his wife's herbs and things like that, the business, the herbs that they get. He talks about how to make them and apparently heat them and things like that so you can take them. So it's kind of a guide for that. So it's Alkaline Herbal Medicine, Reverse Disease, and Heal the Electric Body. The African Bio-Mineral Balance supports the healthy expression of the African genome in all people. And, so that was kind of the point of this video, is to get thoughts as to what people thought about the hybrid and non-hybrid food elements, because I never used to think about it much, but right now I am still on a plan that a meal plan, if you will, that I'm getting off of, which I still love it to this day, and I still have some meals left. But I was a person that in my progression of diet, I got purple carrot meal plans. Specifically, I guess I'd have to say and admit, it was hearing about Tom Brady and his diet correlated, with his performance. That was a big thing for me. Not that I'm putting him on any pedestal. It has really nothing to do with that. But I like the element of him being an example. You could choose anybody, of how it made a difference on his performance. It's just like me. I've worked at my job for, it'll be 28 years in May. And it's kind of a physical job. I work at a grocery store. A lot of lifting, a fair amount of lifting, moving around. Can't tell you how much that this diet has served me. Even when I'm tired, it's not like it was before. I feel better. You cut all this stuff out of your diet, and all of that whole story, caffeine and processed carbs and processed junk and all that stuff, dairy and meat, your energy levels go up. And so all that has served me. So that was my kind of starting point, along with my mom, as I mentioned, coming down with cancer, and she's okay now, but she had a mastectomy. And these are the things that you start to think about as the health issues. And that was a big catalyst as why I did what I did. I thought, there's no reason for me to continue after seeing, cancer a little bit in your family, and you hear about it all the time because we all have cancer cells and so forth. So alkalinity keeps your body, which I believe support shows that, but more than that, because I would have to do more research. But your own experiences, my own experiences now show me, just like other people who have been on these diets, they show me that the results are real. And this is not some fad thing, because if you maybe slip into this for different reasons like I have, and health being the most important, you start to realize that you don't want to go back and shouldn't go back to a processed diet. Sometimes I've slipped into going vegan where I've had some processed foods that I will start to get away from those. So I'm not saying that, nothing is perfect and it's never meant to be. So it's a progression. This is a progression of getting on Sebi's nutritional guide. I'll be phasing out other things in my diet and replacing them, with Sebi's nutritional guide, because I think it's within my realm. And so I just wanted anybody's thoughts about what they thought of hybrid and non-hybrid food. Electric food is non-hybrid food. And anybody's thoughts, I'll end this video on this point. Just what are anybody's thoughts on the hybrid, non-hybrid foods issue? Do you think it's enough of a issue that is real and accurate in saying that if you eat hybrid foods, that's foods that man has cross-pollinated, that is enough to kind of hinder your body in the long run? I'm starting to believe that that's true, but I haven't really looked into research. Thought I'd put those thoughts out. So good luck to anybody that's pursuing whatever diet they're on for better health. And I'll see you next on The Non-Expert Vegan.